Hi, I'm Darcy and I work in student services. One of the biggest sticking points when students are moving away from home and are starting higher education are financial difficulties. But one of the best ways of overcoming that is scholarships. So there's two main types of scholarships. The first being a merit-based scholarship, which is for excellence in your academics, or excellence in another field like sporting or music. The other type of scholarship is an equity scholarship. Some of the eligibility criteria for an equity scholarship include if you've had to move from the country for higher ed, if you're from a financially disadvantaged family, if you're of Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander descent, if you've had carer duties during Year 12, or if you have a disability, or if you're a refugee.
I'm Jenny. I'm studying fine arts, majoring in gold and silversmithing. I'm in my second year. I'm originally from Shepparton and I moved to Melbourne to study here. And I was fortunate enough to receive 2 scholarships this year, one for equity and one on merit of my artworks. My equity scholarship is paid fortnightly and most of that goes towards my accommodation, which is quite expensive because I live at a college. My merit scholarship, on the other hand, was paid in one lump sum and most of that goes towards my materials for my course because I need things like metals and enamel because I study fine arts and it's a lot easier to be able to go and buy them whenever I need them rather than having to save up and only being able to get them sometimes.
My name's Kanisha and I am in my first year of osteopathy. I'm an Indigenous student and my family's from northeast Tasmania. The scholarships I received are an Indigenous scholarship which helps me just in general support throughout my studies, general living expenses and for textbooks, etc. My course is a very high cost in equipment. I have to purchase a medical kit which is very expensive and receiving the scholarships has helped me put money towards them. The scholarships also help me with general expenses. Around exam time I may not be able to work as much. Because of the scholarships I don't have to stress about not having enough money to be able to purchase food.
So no matter what type of scholarship you receive, or the reasons you've received this scholarship, a scholarship can be a great way of finding that balance between life and study. So scholarships can be offered by places such as your university or TAFE that you're going to be attending, by the government or by community organisations. You can find out more about the eligibility criteria for these scholarships by accessing the TAFE or university website or on online databases like the Good Universities Guide scholarship page, which lists around 3,000 different scholarships.
I applied for many scholarships directly through my university's website. I filled in one application form which covered a range of scholarship applications. The application process for the scholarships was quite easy. I had to answer a few questions and the way I found to do that was just to be honest and tell my story. Some of the questions were what was your goals for the future, what's your course and why you wanted to do it and how the scholarship would help you.
Initially, I applied through VTAC and then I also applied through my university, and most universities have a system where you fill out one big application online and it applies you for all the scholarships that you're eligible for. So it did require me to fill out some questions as well as some backup work such as my birth certificate and some photocopies of Centrelink payments, as well as it required me to provide some photos of my artwork and some information about those.
So some scholarships may require you to write an essay or some short answer responses. It's really important to be clear and concise in these answers and to get someone to check over them for your grammar and spelling mistakes. Others may require you to sit through an interview. It's important to, if you're coming from a regional area, to ask whether you might be able to do this interview over Skype so you maybe don't have to come down to Melbourne to sit through the interview. So some of my top tips for applying for scholarships would be to check the deadline and start your application early. Year 12 is a busy year, so it's best to get the ball rolling early. You also need to check what kind of supporting documents they're after. So this may include photocopies of your birth certificate, proof of financial difficulty or where you're living, or a copy of your academic grades.
My advice is to apply for as many scholarships as you can. Even if you don't get them, it's a small amount of time for for something that could be really life-changing, and they're normally really easy to fill out. And you don't know, there might not be anyone else applying for them, so you might get one you didn't think you'd ever get.
I definitely encourage every new student to apply for scholarships. You may think that you don't need them or you won't receive them, but you may meet criteria for some scholarships, and they definitely come in handy when you need them.
It's important to remember that at every university, there are student services teams who can help you out with these situations if you've got any questions. So good luck with your applications and hopefully see you on campus.